Mr. Mukesh Ambani. It is what apocryphal stories are made of, only this is true. Sometime in the early 1980s, Mr. Mukesh Ambani was on a flight from Mumbai to Delhi. The flight, thanks to the fog over Delhi, was diverted to Ahmedabad. Stranded Mukesh had to borrow money from a fellow passenger. He was carrying neither money nor a credit card. Even today, Mukesh, estimated to be the richest man in the world, never carries cash or credit cards at home or abroad. When you create wealth, you don't carry it, it carries you. And we are not talking small wealth here. He is a few Sensex points away from pole position in terms of market capitalization. If Mukesh was a nation and his wealth was his GDP, he would rank somewhere in the 50s in the list of 181 countries, give or take a few billions. If you can count $1 a second, it would take about 15 days to count a million and about 30 years to count $1 billion. Mukesh, though, loathes the idea of being called the richest man in the world. In almost a monologue, he says, if the purpose of business is only to make money, then it is a poor business model. If you can't impact millions of lives, then it is a pointless exercise. Personally, he is happiest sharing black gram from Mahabaleshwar with colleagues at late night meetings or stopping by at the Madras Cafe in Matunga for his dosa or snack from the shops at Dadar. Bliss is a walk around the US Club in Mumbai, eating bajra roti and curd at home for dinner and movies at the home theatre. At work, he is almost always seen wearing a loose white shirt and black trousers. Formal means a suit stitched by Kachins, and holidays are in jeans and a t shirt or a casual shirt. He doesn't care what watch he wears or what pen he uses. His stark off white chamber sports a painting of Mahatma Gandhi by Sahabuddin at the entrance and leather seating inside. Being able to afford the basic things in life is all you need, he says. When Mukesh found his new rupees 5 crore Maybach car couldn't maneuver Mumbai's streets, he simply sent it back and opted for a Mercedes. His new office complex at Bandra in North Mumbai is larger than the North Block and the South Block put together. He travels around the globe in the rupees 180 crore Global Express aircraft, one of the 6 in his fleet. It is only a business tool for him to get to places just to see the time left to finish work. Our story is the India story. India is growing exponentially. We have to top-notch team which spots trends, thinks through that model, establishes the scale required and executes in record time. His father, Dhirubhai Ambani, used to say, if you can dream it, you can do it. We don't say, let us create a $100 billion business. We say, let us see the opportunities around us and create a business that enables us to carve a big chunk. In the 80s, the obvious segments to target were roti, kapda, or makan. Roti was too complex and makan was too small to scale given the plethora of regulations. Kapda was comparatively open. So, while everyone wondered whether rayon, nylon, polyester, or acrylic would be the next big fabric, the Ambanis chose to bet on polyester. Then they simply built scale, slashed prices, and drove competition out. Petrochemicals and a refinery were the next step. When Mukesh proposed to build the plant at Hajaria, family friend Darbari said cautioned that petrochemicals were not textiles. But Mukesh, confident of the knowledge he had gained at the University Institute of Chemical Technology and his stint at Stanford, knew better. Reliance went ahead with the mantra of scale, building big to cut costs and carve market shares. It set up the world's largest grassroots refinery. Today, Reliance India Limited virtually rules the market. If you look at the use of plastics and polymers around you, at retail outlets or for milk crates, the foresight would hit home. Simply, every business has to return the capital in 5 years. Of course, there is the risk of failure because of the economic or political environment. By choosing sectors that are aligned to the Indian growth story, Mukesh has de risked the company. He has also kept the clout of Reliance thriving through the corridors of power. As India grew, so did Reliance, and exponentially so. At every step, Reliance has tweaked the business model. Success, though, has always been accompanied by controversy. Reliance believes in changing the rules of the game and in muzzling the system when the rules don't suit them. This was most visible in telecom, where by choosing a combination of a gap in regulation, technology, and scale, Mukesh made distance irrelevant, delivering technology at 40 pies per minute. People did not believe me when I said we would notch a million connections within the year. Today, I can say that I believe that without Reliance India Limited's entry, the mobile revolution on the low cost path would not have happened. In all his ventures, Mukesh has dealt with complexities and scale. Take the 27 million ton per annum refinery, a mind blogging civil and engineering feat. The refinery will use enough concrete to build many towers like Canada's CN Tower, will require laying of 5,200 kilometers of pipes equal to the length of the Ganges and involve instrumentation facilities with cables long enough to stretch across the diameter of the earth. Drilling 4.8 km deep into the sea, it located gas reserves of 11.3 trillion cubic feet in the Krishna Godavari basin. Evacuating this gas involves installing equipment 3 km deep to bring it 2 km on shore before it is transported 1400 km to Gujarat on a 4 feet wide east-west pipeline. The gas business has not just been an engineering marvel. For over 12 months, Mukesh fought a bitter public battle on gas pricing as his brother Anil Ambani petitioned the government and went to the courts to get his share of gas. Working through the corridors of power through an empowered group of ministers, Mukesh has got a price that will keep his business model viable. While the issue of supplying gas to his brother's Reliance Energy is sorted out, he faces another political challenge in retail, his other big venture. It is accepted economic logic that organized retail cuts costs, curbs wastage, and creates jobs. The constituency of the unemployed poor farmers and consumers is unbeatable. Yet, the traders who will be affected have mobilized political opposition in states like Uttar Pradesh, where Reliance fresh shops were closed down as they were considered a law and order problem. People think Reliance Industries is a one man show, but that is not so. He works with a fully empowered team that works very hard. Mukesh lays out the overall plan, which is implemented by his core team that includes cousins Nikhil and Hital Meshwani and Manoj Modi, supported by friend Anand Jain. The delegation of work affords him quality time with his family, whether it is teaching his son mathematics, helping his daughter with her SCIT papers, or going for the weekly walk with wife Neeta. And regular holidays are a must, say at Pebble Beach in California or the wildlife park in Botswana. What he has also eschewed consciously is the fluff from his social calendar. But if it is N.K. Singh's book launch or a friend's 50th birthday halfway across town, he will take out time. As news of his wealth grabs headlines, Mukesh faces questions. Unlike the Tatas, Reliance is not widely known for its philanthropy. You could say because Mukesh keeps his charity private, but also because he has again a radically different view. I don't believe in mere lip service or checkbook philanthropy. Papa used to say, Self respect is the biggest asset, particularly in the life of the poor. Mukesh believes India's biggest social and economic challenge is how we grow the incomes of those living at the bottom of the pyramid. Thank you very much. Now, some word power. It is what apocryphal stories are made of, only this is true. Apocryphal means a story or statement of doubtful authenticity, although widely circulated as being true. Sometime in the early 1980s, Mukesh Ambani was on a flight from Mumbai to Delhi. The flight, thanks to the fog over Delhi, was diverted to Ahmedabad. Stranded, Mukesh had to borrow money from a fellow passenger. Strand means leave without the means to move from somewhere. And we are not talking small wealth here. He is a few Sensex points away from pole position in terms of market capitalization. Pole position means a dominating or leading position. He loathes the idea of being called the richest man in the world. Loath means intense dislike. Bliss is a walk around the US Club in Mumbai, eating bajra roti and curd at home for dinner and movies at the home theatre. Bliss means a state of complete happiness. Our story is the India story. India is growing exponentially. Exponential means becoming more and more rapid. In the 80s, the obvious segments to target were roti, kapda, and makan. Roti was too complex and makan was too small to scale given the plethora of regulations. Plethora. A very large amount of something. What he also eschewed consciously is the fluff from his social calendar. Eschew means to avoid something intentionally. Fluff means useless or unimportant information. As news of his wealth grabs headlines, Mukesh faces questions. Unlike the Tatas, Reliance is not widely known for its philanthropy. Philanthropy means the activity of helping the poor, especially by giving them money. Thank you very much.